Welcome back to more Magus Bride. Obviously, a lot going on, and nothing at the same time. Chisei are trying to go to school, do her lessons, while still being investigated and interrogated by a bunch of people who are interested in Elias and everything that he's got going on. But maybe this episode might be a little different, because, well, what's safer than going camping in the woods with a bunch of other students? Definitely not the start of many a bad horror movie. But considering the little friend group has grown slightly, some understanding between several students actually coming to pass. Where's Chisei's place in all of the grand scheme of the class itself? Still a lot going on in the background, though. Characters with family names and family histories to live up to. Several plots in the background and possibly some danger. But why aren't we watching it? So let's begin now. You've got to love a look over into the countryside. Fairly easy cut. Does he have something pressing to talk about? Didn't really wait for an answer, though, did you? But what was the two siblings possibly arguing about there? I saw the face being pulled, the pout. And really, there's so much to camping in the woods and possibly actual survival skills that would be quite useful to know. But since some of them have contracts with spirits and the like, is that going to make things easier? And considering this season is a lot more cozy, probably isn't the right word, at least in the terms of not having some maniacal, there he is, maniacal character trying to take people's body parts and create abominations. What is the driving force and evil behind, well, in this one? I'm sure they'll get on fine without him. And is it really practice of living alone if that's having him in the background? And knowing that he's constantly there, watching, waiting. But put her on edge slightly. What the hell? Oh. He will have a complete picture of everything that transpired and went on later. Congratulations. Definitely would make dinner slightly easier. Oh. Hello there. They've taken an interest, are they? I know a fair few folk tales and like from Scotland, but would make being in the grand outdoors Slightly more interesting if there was things like this floating around, as long as they weren't interfering or dangerous. Did she pick up the fish? If you've got a magnesium rod, yeah, just don't let it go out. And yeah, create some shavings there so that you actually got something to catch light. How many times does she need to be shown how to make fire? Something that we've had pretty on lock for thousands of years. Oh, hopefully not a kelpie. Yeah, I don't know that one. So, don't trust horses, is what you're saying here. It's quite pushy, though. Okay, what is he going to be waiting? Got a business meeting planned later on. A bit ominous. Only telling Lucy that and none of the other students? Well, other majors might have extenuating circumstances, but Chisei is a little, cut above the rest when it comes to strange goings on. People actually enjoying themselves on a camping trip? Possible. And if it's spirits giggling like that, hmm. Yeah, neighbours, I should say, yeah, not spirits, but there's no need to fret or be fearful. Somehow, this is not so reassuring. We've got the things from the deep. How many water based creatures are there going to be? Quickly wash up in the river, just wade through a bunch of reeds first. I was about to say the first one up. Or is it just can't really sleep? What, the fact that she's keeping hold of it even while binning the tea and whatnot? Is there a reason that has been given why they needed to keep away? Maybe they just need a little interaction with people. No need to ostracize them completely. I mean, there's going to have reasons for people that have histories like Webster's. Maybe there's family ongoings. Hmm. To learn thy enemy. See if she remembers what was shown to her the night before. Congratulations. Having rabbit stew with a side salad of snake. To be fair, you're getting on a lot easier than I thought they would show. Is he holding a mug? Yeah, playing in the river without a change of clothes would lead to being a little chilly. So this was a break. Got a bit unnecessary to say that when she doesn't really know all too much about it, but still. She has a lot planned. Just leave the conversation there. No, I'll let you stew and ponder for a while. Why lead the conversation in that way if you're not going to start explaining what it is that you have to do? It is good that they... It's the first time I'm mentioning it, but it's good that they actually made the fire in a fire pit to stop it spreading. Granted, the ground would probably be a little damp out where they are, but still. Remember to stay away from horses, but there might be more going on. What's peering at her through the darkness? Well, that's great. If you got Chisei waking in a cold sweat, if Elias has picked up on something as well. Come across the I was going to say come across the lantern, but no. She's been sucked dry. Is there a magic transfusion? Is there any chance of a kickback or the body not accepting it? Ah, just through osmosis of the atmosphere. Is that the one that took the magical power? For would you rather not see what was out there if there was these neighbours and things just lurking? Does she have to pretend as though she doesn't notice? I was about to say, oh, is that a centaur? Hmm. So across the river. Hopefully its stride isn't... Hopefully its stride isn't big enough for it to just step over the water without an issue. Here. Why was it awakening now, though? Surely no one caused too much issue while they were camping. Yeah, it tried to just splash just now rather than do any siphoning, so... Yeah. For good reason, oh no. Well, might actually help, though, if they can petrify it. Yep. Don't put the headphones back on straight away. Ah. Well, they had a brief moment. Right, there's the poison mist. Hopefully they've got some... Yeah, don't wait too long. Yeah, hopefully they've got some way of stopping that mist. Maybe some wet bandanas across the mouths. Eat it. Maybe she should have just asked him to come along. Although this is going to be her victory now, though. If you have... Well, it's not directly helping out, is it? A little advice here and there? That should be fine. Rather than waiting on Chisei to try and gain a friendship there. Is there a price to pay? Is it a case of putting trust into it? Well, nondescript key. Well, somewhat, oh, they found him. Somewhat safe for the most part. And how would they... Yeah, but how would they actually get it into the water? Is it so dumb that it would be distracted or something? They do not get on. Oh, I'll do it. Just a donkey kick into the lake. I'd say a bit more than poisonous. We saw it start to crumble. Not fast enough, though. And in its dying moments it's doing this. Trying to take her along. Ah. Okay, there might be something to be fearful of. And, yeah, leave the rest to Elias there. But oh, okay. You may want to get back up to the surface now. You can give it a try. So that's why it came along. He came along. The key to an axe. Well, the key to victory. Okay. Is that talking about self-enhancement? Well, it looks like this is a defeat. But she's been glorped. With only a slight change in her pedicure. Might need to do her nails after this one with the way the arm sprouted feathers and claws. I suppose that was satiated for the time being. He's gonna go on a diet? Ah, he's had a lack of food. How long can those things go without eating? Also, I like her new hair. Even if it was hastily cut off. Just got a little bit on her mind, considering she's going further and further away from what it would be to be like classically human. Well, sometimes if you have no idea what you're doing, somehow everything just plays out fine. If you can take advice from others, sometimes your body can just move in the perfect way to pull you through. Although, usually people don't have the power of dragons and everything else that's going on if they're to really ex machina their way out of situations. And how many more folk tales and legends are they going to slay while they're out here? Elias, once he gets recombined with his other self, really picked up on everything that has transpired here today. Is he going to be able to leave her alone again? Considering, look, this is what happened when I actually listened to you about not coming along. Sure, it played out fine this time. You really do have to love Ancient Magus Bride. Sometimes it can just be as simple as a nice little camping trip out there in the woods. Simple things like trying to start a fire. Magnesium strip, try to light it. Make sure the kindling is actually nicely put so the flames don't go out immediately, but there wasn't many normal camping activities. We didn't really see the students do too much. Sure, there was a little montage going through it. But who hasn't fought a giant centaur like a beast once in a while? Or maybe my just scout camping trips were slightly different. And how many times are we going to have Chisei encounter a neighbor, a creature that outward surface is quite deadly? Has the compunction to start chowing down on humans. Somehow, some way, starts working with them, ends up not quite getting their way, even if it does have the intent to brutally maim them at the least. Chisei's still trying to come up with some sort of compromise. I can't let you eat me. But, hair? But even that, not quite a Kelpie, but the other word that they said, is feeling the pressure of the economic change in climate. No more travellers, no more drunken farmers. Poor land must be starving. If he wasn't so ravenous and eating everyone in the area, there might be more walking about. But of course, the main thing here is we're all focused on not the centaur, the other word, chasing them around. Sure, it didn't go unnoticed. There was mention of it, at least, that it wasn't that thing that drained out the magic power. That's not its MO. It's not how it operates. There's something else going on here. Oh, but there's no time to think about it. Just have that in the back of your mind. But hey, it doesn't really matter if all of them gets a little dry when it comes to power, because, well, Chisei is out here acting as a little student battery. So yeah, as long as she's here, what could go wrong? I do like how Ainsworth is so protective that, I'm going to come with you. Even when being told no. It's like, right, how about, hear me out for 1 second. I've ripped my head in half. Meet you halfway? Jesus Christ. I mean, sure, he brought the half that didn't have the power to immediately help out, but still had a sentience to give advice when needed, talk to the neighbours and whatnot, bring them close. Just how much is he really capable of? Splitting into various components of himself, travelling separately over vast distances, all sorts and manners of magic and transmogrification. I guess what really limits him is his understanding of emotions. So, when's he getting his big teaching moment next? I want more. Magus Bride, obviously seeing certain characters held in a different light, but maybe not quite as forthcoming when it comes to friendships. Running away at a slight sight, being given the slight bit of family backstory that we got in previous episodes. Might take a while before they're brung into the fold. Not quite as easy as the Gorgon. But I've enjoyed. Hopefully you have too. Let me know down below. Leave a like and a comment. Possibly subscribe to the channel if you think I've been entertaining enough. Added anything of value. Maybe join onto my Discord. Maybe you've learned something here today. Basic fire making. Or just relying on a half bovine skull for some fish. Those useful lessons. I'll see you in the next one. My patrons are the kelpie in the water that would as soon as eat me should I stop recording anime. But for the time being, they are actually trying to help out, provide some support for the channel, as long as I stay away from water. So, if you would like to join them and not delve into the murky depths, consider joining onto my Patreon as well. Because there, you will see Noku, Raywin, Sal, Cardboard, Shiwan, Akane, Guado, Dory Jane, Kite, Lightwizard91, Mega42, Diego Zenhausen, SZ9870, Croyville, Maxwell, and everyone else. And trust me, it's probably a lot nicer there than out in the woods.